Today on Spill Society, Terrence Howard just said the one thing that could end Diddy's career forever. And it wasn't just some industry beef or weird party story. He hinted at something so dark it could flip the entire entertainment world upside down. People thought the scandals were over. People thought the freakoffs, the Cassie case, the raids, and the lawsuits were enough. But what Terrence just revealed, it's deeper than anyone imagined. And at the center of it all is a little girl no one's heard from in years, Ava Baron.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baron.
Ava Baron Combs? Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents that you're my child also with. Please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
Like borderline suspect. I don't want nobody. You want to get it clear. I adopted you like Madonna adopted kids and everybody else adopted kids. Charlize Theron, everybody that's ever adopted Sandra Bullock. I adopted you because I felt that you could, enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out. So, just clarify it because it's crazy out here online. So you played with the kids, and I got permission from your mother. Say all of that. It's crazy out here.
I met Cassie and Lila when I was 6 months old.
6 months.
And then basically sisters, all 4 of us. So.
6 months.
I always come over.
Yes. And it's Ava Baron Combs.
Now stay with us because we're not talking about some old Hollywood gossip. This isn't a he said, she said. We're talking federal indictments, secret recordings, hidden threats, and a bizarre public adoption that may have been nothing more than a calculated move to distract the world while something truly twisted happened behind the scenes. Terrence Howard didn't want to say it out loud. You could hear it in his voice, but he couldn't hold it in any longer. On a podcast where he was supposed to be talking acting and career, he cracked open the vault, and it was uglier than anyone expected. First, he said Diddy invited him over, innocent enough. Diddy wanted acting lessons. That's what he told him. Terrence showed up thinking this was about art. Instead, what he found was silence. No script, no scene to rehearse, just Diddy, staring. And then the vibe changed. Terrence played some music for him. Diddy just sat there, watching, waiting. Then the assistant whispered it, "He's trying to sleep with you." That's when it hit Terrence. This wasn't about acting. This was about control, about dominance, about power. And Terrence, he wasn't having it. He left. No more calls, no more meetings. But that's just the surface. Because then Terrence dropped the real bomb.
And if you're going to speak against me, use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. And a man I'd integrity and in truth. I spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face. And say it like the conclusions. But we're going to do this respectfully, otherwise we'll end in a duel. And I mean a duel, real life duel, where only one person goes away.
Diddy's parties weren't just parties, they were traps, setups, places where men, especially black men, were broken down, humiliated, and made into something else. He didn't name names, but he didn't have to. You could feel it. You could feel the weight of years of secrets packed into every word he spoke. He said when a man loses his manhood in one of Diddy's freakoffs, he never gets it back. And it was that word, freakoff, that sent the internet into a frenzy.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You should have a greater desire than being a man.
See, this wasn't the first time we'd heard that term. It's right there in the federal indictment. The same indictment that now includes new charges. The same one that's being updated in real time because the story keeps growing. And the name on everyone's lips now? Ava Baron. Who is Ava Baron? That's what most people were asking. A name that didn't ring any bells until they saw the video. The one where Diddy, in the middle of the 2020 pandemic, suddenly introduces a young white girl on Instagram and says he adopted her. No warning, no paperwork, no build-up, just a live stream. This is Ava. She's mine now. And just like that, she vanished. Now let's rewind because this part matters. The world was locked down. People were scared. Everyone was watching celebrities for guidance, hope, or at least distraction. And Diddy? He gave them a story, a feel-good moment, a rich man doing something kind, adopting a child who needed help. It looked noble. It looked heartwarming. Let's break down that live stream because people are watching it very differently now. Ava's body language? Stiff, uncomfortable. Her eyes? Darting. Her smile? Forced. She stumbles over her words. She doesn't call him dad, she calls him papa. It sounds rehearsed. And when she says she was woken up on the street, it sounds like a fairy tale version of something much more complex. And then Diddy says it himself. I adopted you like Madonna adopted kids, like Charlize Theron, like Sandra Bullock. That's when the red flags really start flying. Because here's the truth. Madonna's adoptions have been shrouded in controversy. Multiple governments have accused her of skirting legal systems, misleading birth parents, and adopting under questionable circumstances. She's even been accused of child trafficking tactics by the Ethiopian World Federation. Let that sink in. So for Diddy to casually throw her name into the mix, that wasn't smart, that was shocking. Even more strange, Ava's mother supposedly gave permission, but we never saw her, we never heard from her, we never got a name, we only got Diddy's word. And Ava's awkward attempt to explain how she suddenly became part of the Combs family. Then came the most telling part, the other kids. Diddy's sons were right there, front and center. Ava, off to the side, almost like a prop. And here's the kicker. When fans asked why she wasn't interacting with Diddy's daughters, the silence was deafening. Now fast forward. After that video, Ava's presence online disappears. No family photos, no birthday posts, no mentions, just gone. And suddenly the questions started swirling. Where did she go? Was she okay? Was the adoption even real? Or was she, like Terrence said, just another pawn in a twisted game of image control and power? Because here's the truth. Everything changed after that podcast. Terrence didn't just stop at the story. He hinted at something deeper, something more dangerous. He posted a video on Twitter, said he was being threatened, warned his enemies that he'd speak up if pushed too far. He even used the hashtag #mancard, the same phrase he used to describe what Diddy allegedly takes from other men. And then came Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, the man who's been leaking industry secrets like a broken faucet. He's been calling out Diddy for years, but this time he went all in. Gene said the Ava adoption was fake, a PR stunt, a performance. He claimed Diddy found a little homeless girl and brought her in for show, pretended to adopt her, used her for likes, for clout, for sympathy. And then, when the cameras were off, she was tossed aside. Allegedly. He didn't say Diddy hurt her, but he didn't say he didn't either. He just hinted, strongly. And when Gene hints, people listen.
It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this and try to engage. Yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got charges and everything on him, but he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN. It's keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out.
He said the industry knows the truth. They've always known. But the public, they weren't ready. Until now. Because guess who else might have known? 50 Cent? Yup. Mr. Petty himself. The king of trolls. The one man in hip-hop who holds on to grudges like trophies. And guess what? He's been talking about Diddy for years. He said he had tapes, evidence, receipts, things the feds were too scared to show. He teased a documentary, said it was coming. Did he do it? He called it real subtle, right? And people laughed. They thought he was joking. They thought it was just another dig at an old rival. But now, nobody's laughing. Because the indictment, it reads like a horror movie. Persistent and pervasive abuse, manipulation through money and threats, freak-offs involving men and women, electronic recordings, and now 2 new unnamed victims. If she's been added to the case, then everything changes. Because this isn't just about Cassie anymore. It's not about grown women who made deals with the devil and came to regret them. This is about a child. This is about grooming, coercion, silence. And the people are demanding answers. The internet's already doing what the feds haven't, connecting the dots, watching the live streams, matching timelines, analyzing body language, comparing Ava's disappearance to the rise in Diddy's legal problems. And it all lines up. That's why the new indictment is causing panic. It doesn't name Ava directly, but it does say this: 2 new individuals, both potentially underage, both brought across state lines, both involved in something referred to as produced performances during freak-offs. And remember, Terrence already said the freak-offs weren't parties, they were traps. Gene confirmed it. 50 Cent warned about it, and now it's in federal paperwork. So the question isn't whether Diddy is going down. It's how far the fall will be, and who's coming with him. Because if Ava testifies, if she takes the stand, then all bets are off. Hollywood better brace itself, because this isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning. So the real question is, will she speak, or has the industry already silenced her? We're gonna find out soon, because the trial is coming. And when those courtroom doors open, everything Diddy's tried to hide could come pouring out like a flood. No NDAs, no threats, no private islands, it's just truth, raw and exposed. And for once, he won't be in control. Now tell me what you think about the Ava conspiracy. Should she come forward and be a witness? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Spill Society.